I'm Doug Reiling with Centennial Tax Accounting, and this is my 2 cents on why you need a balance sheet. See, almost every business owner I know knows their sales number. Many times they can tell me their profit or loss, but very few can tell me anything about their balance sheet. And that's usually the most important report in the room. You see, sales feels good, profit feels validating, and so those get all the attention. The balance sheet gets handed off to the accountant, the banker, or the software. It's perceived as a technical, boring thing that's only for tax time. And that assumption can cost you clarity, confidence, and sometimes your business itself. At its core, the balance sheet answers 3 simple questions. 1, what does the business own? 2, what does the business owe? And 3, what's left over for the owners? That's assets, liability, and equity. If you buy equipment, inventory, or a building, it shows up here. And if you borrowed money to do it, that shows up here too. The balance sheet shows how today's decisions accumulate over time. Let me give you a common example. A business shows a really modest profit, and the owner feels discouraged and he wonders if it's even worth continuing. Now, if we only look at the profit and loss, that conclusion might make a lot of sense. But once we look at the balance sheet, the story often changes. We might see customers owe them a lot of money. Well, that's a collections issue, not a fundamentally broken business. And we might see that there's excess inventory. Now, that's a purchasing issue or maybe a pricing issue. We might see old debts being paid down. That's actually progress that's just not shown up in the profit yet. Same profit number, very different reality. And here's something a lot of owners don't realize. If you have a partner, if your business has more than one owner, you cannot file a proper tax return without a balance sheet. Capital accounts, ownership percentages, distributions, and retained earnings all live there. If someone tells you they can prepare a multi-owner business return without a balance sheet, that's a problem. At best, the return will be incomplete. At worst, well, I sometimes also joke that we review the balance sheet to make sure clients are not headed for bankruptcy. It's a joke, but it's also true. If liabilities keep rising and assets do not, that's an early warning sign. Debt can be smart when it funds growth or transition. It becomes dangerous when you cannot clearly explain where that money went or what the business has to show for it. The balance sheet forces that kind of honesty. You don't need to love accounting, you do need visibility. A good balance sheet turns numbers into insight and insight into better decisions. At Centennial Tax and Accounting, we help business owners automate their books, produce high-quality financial statements, and actually understand what the numbers are telling them. If you don't know your balance sheet, it's time to start. That's just my 2 cents.